If you ever have an opportunity to go for a back seat ride with a fighter pilot, be careful what you say in the brief and the impression you make. One morning in 1979, while I was attached to VF-171 Det Key West as an ACM instructor, I came rolling into the squadron and discovered the flight schedule had me on a FAM ride. I was to take a visiting Pentagon dignitary, we'll call Mr. Us, for a backseat ride in the F-4. Mr. Us was staying in the BOQ for probably $12 a night, really splurging on his family vacation, I guess. Since he had documents for the requisite ejection seat and water survival training, we were good to go. Rabbit, the officer in charge of the detachment, was going to fly the TA-4J as bogey. Mr. Us and I would man the F-4. We briefed an itinerary for the flight that would be comprehensive. Rabbit and I would ham and egg setups for mock engagements, concluding the brief with a thorough rules of engagement run-through. Rabbit asked Mr. Us if he had any questions, to which he offered, "I've been on these backseat rides before. Don't think you'll show me anything I haven't seen before." Ooh, I see. I felt the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Well, okay. We manned up and took off separately, being dissimilar aircraft, and rendezvoused on the way out to the practice area. Unfortunately, along the way, I discovered that our ICS was not working. That is, I could talk to Mr. Us, but he could not talk to me. So I raised my visor, adjusted my mirrors to see him, and said, "You can hear me, can't you?" He gave me a thumbs up. "But you can't talk to me." He gave me a thumbs down. I asked, "If you would like, I can ask Rabbit if we could go out and do a single aircraft exercise exploring the envelope." He nodded his head, gave a thumbs up. Rabbit was okay, so he orbited in the eastern end of the practice area, while Mr. Us and I rolled out on a westerly heading towards the dry Tortugas.
Hi, I'm Wyatt. My master is a wimp. He wants me to do his begging for him. Well, I'm pretty good at that. Please, oh please, comment and give a thumbs up. Finally, subscribe at the Stork, please. Thanks.
Accelerating to 450 knots at 5,000 feet, I switched to hot mic so I could provide my narrative while putting the aircraft through its paces. In full afterburner and 450 knots, I rolled the aircraft into the 70-degree angle of bank and applied 6.5 Gs. I explained that this turn is the best we can get out of the aircraft, 17 degrees per second. So 21 seconds later, we rolled out on a westerly heading, still going 450 knots. My narrative continues. Now at this point, I'll pull aft on the control stick and go into the pure vertical, what we call bull's-eyeing the attitude indicator, and then apply a -2 Gs. This brings the nose down past the horizon into a 45-degree dive so that we can porpoise the aircraft for a Mach 2 run. Prior to applying the -2 Gs, I hooked my boots under the rudder pedals to keep me in the seat. Mr. Us, however, did not have the luxury of doing likewise. Suddenly, I heard a muffled something and looked into my mirrors. Mr. Us had taken off his oxygen mask and is yelling, "Stop! Stop!" Ooh. So I deselected afterburner, rolled into a 90-degree angle of bank to allow the nose to fall through the horizon under low G. It would seem Mr. Us had an opportunity to see something he hadn't seen before. I called Rabbit on the radio and suggested we return to the field separately so we could fly a straight in without going into the overhead brake and its attendant G-forces. I don't remember much about the debrief, but I'm sure Mr. Us appreciated the fact that he got to see something he hadn't seen before, except maybe a Mach 2 run, but then he has probably done that before.